Hello, my name's Phil the Thrill, and this is Table Runner Crispy, and we are running sort of a thrilling table.
Sort of. It's a
want
little
the
different.
table to be thrilling,
Yes. Yeah.
but I wouldn't say, I don't know if this is an official.
I wouldn't say so. I think this
I
is
did
a
label it
special
such.
one-off by request. In spirit of all of the excitement around superheroes right now, thanks to a certain Canadian hero, I would point out.
Who are we talking about?
Wolverine, of course.
Oh, right.
So we're talking a lot about superhero games, and we're maybe some of the very few that are talking about them, but nonetheless, we're going to keep talking about them because they're a lot of fun. And today we're going to be creating, and this is something I had asked in my review of Heroes Unlimited. I asked if anyone would like to see us create a character or something like that.
Yeah, and then I said, "Holy crap, can I join?
Can you join?" And not just join, Phil. Let's have you make a character and show the fine people out there how this is done and just how deliciously messy this process is. And it's just fantastic. It's so complex and it's just crazy. But we're going to do it anyway, just to show you what it's done.
Something that I'm doing is we're going to run the Total Party Skills version of City Heroes Unlimited.
Yes.
On Monday, probably.
Excited for it.
And
really
and so we got called out a lot, or at least I felt personally attacked when Crispy put his Heroes Unlimited video up, and in the comment section it's like, everyone always trashes on Heroes Unlimited, and it's actually good. And then Crispy was like, I agree. And it's like, uh-oh.
I like it. I'm having a great time with it. Now, that said, I'm
willing to give it a break. I'm willing to give it a chance.
We're going to give it a chance. Let's launch right into it, Phil. We've got Phil has his character sheet. I have a little, if you want to share this here, Phil, he's got the character sheet printed off. You can't see it now, of course.
Perfect.
But if you could share this, share my little notepad here, and we'll just make it small, maybe.
Yeah, of course.
And you can see. So we're just getting started with the attributes, and we're gonna type all these in pencil because many of them will change. Now, the standard for Detroit, like according to the book, the standard to determine your attributes is 3d6 down the board. Okay. Now, because this is a superhero game, it's commonly house rolled. Yes. So what I would suggest, we're going to do 3d6 and you're going to re-roll ones. Okay. So any ones that you have, this is something, back in the day, we've always done it this way. Some groups will do 4d6, drop lowest. That's very common, but I like this 3d6 re-roll ones.
Everyone hates ones.
Smart. Why don't you go ahead and do that? And we're gonna go down. And while you roll those, I'm just gonna populate them next to the attributes. And of course, Phil, we can move them around. That's fine.
Hey, Nicholas.
Nick, thanks for joining us here. We're making a character. We're making not just a character. We're making a superhero.
That's right. No idea what we're going to make, but we're going random.
We're going to randomize it and see how it goes. And we're going to see, we get the timer on this, of course, to see how long this takes.
Yeah.
For someone who's brand new and someone who's
I should have got a timer.
But yeah, we should have a timer on
character count.
Exactly. All right. So go ahead, Phil. 3d6. Re-roll any ones.
Okay, so you're not going to create a character.
No. Well, we could do two. Why not? We could do two.
I don't care.
Sure. I didn't even launch. So
manage both of those notepads, or should I be managing my own notepad?
Ooh, you know what? I could probably do both.
Utilizing the tab.
Yeah, I think we can.
A couple tabs.
All right, so let's do this here.
This is gonna get real cluttered.
This is gonna get cluttered, but we're gonna try it. So what I'll do here, Phil, is I'm just gonna do this.
No, Palladium's a clean system.
Control.
There's no problems with it.
And we're gonna this will be fun. Okay, so we're gonna go down a little bit and then we'll just do the same. All right, so here we go. IQ first. Let's see how we can do this, Phil. All right, so 3d6, we're gonna re-roll ones.
Brains before beauty right here. Oh, I guess.
Okay, so my IQ, and this is a 14. So we're just gonna write that down.
Okay. I'll let you run down the go for it. Do it all.
Okay, so we're just going to do that again. 1, 2, 3. Reroll any ones. No need. That's a 10. My mental endurance is a 10.
Lots of twos.
Okay,
A lot
and
of
here we go.
twos.
Okay, that's an 11 for my mental affinity.
Another pointless
Think of that
stat.
as your charisma. Okay,
Yeah.
and then we go in here. Of course, got to be strong. Got to be strong or average.
11.
11 physical strength. Okay,
Crush.
so you see we're going through this here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's 4.
Boom,
Never
boom,
mind. Let's go
boom.
to the end. 1, 2, 3. No cheating here. That's a 13. Oops. And this is physical prowess. Think of this as 33. That'd be nice. 13, which is your dexterity. So think of it that way. And now we're in physical endurance. All right, it's a 9. Okay. And physical beauty.
The good news is that none of these matter.
Oh, got a 1. None of them really matter. And we're going to re-roll that. We're going to re-roll it again. And we're going to re-roll it again until we get, okay, so that's I got a 15.
Not a bonus roll, though.
Not a bonus roll. You get a bonus roll if you hit that 16. You get a D6 back immediately. Now we're going to roll speed. So that's, again, 3d6. Oh, I see 1, 1. So I'm going to re-roll that 1.
Ooh, potential.
No, not quite. Okay, so we've got 14 there.
Okay, I just realized that we are now doubling the length of the character creation stream.
So we're not going to do that. We're just going to take these and we're going to just do one hero because it's going to take way too long. So here's your attributes.
All
now,
right.
do not fret that you do not have any bonuses or anything here, because we're just getting started and we're not there yet. We will get there. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now that we've got our 8 attributes all the way through down to speed, and we've determined that there's no bonuses at this point to put in, we go to our next step. All right, step 2. And I've got my book open here. So
step 6 right now. Come on, Phil.
Step 2, page 17.
Points, SDC.
So we're going to do hit points and SDC. Now you've already noticed that you have here your physical endurance. Now, your physical endurance represents your base hit points. So your score right now of physical endurance is a whopping 9. But what you're going to do to start off, so this is going to be our hit points. So we're just going to say here, HP. And our hit points are physical endurance plus a D6. So roll a D6 for me.
May I begin to roll?
You may, sir, please. Thank you. All right. 5. Excellent. Jumped it up to a 14. Okay. So starting hit points are going to be 14. If you can lose that many before dying. Okay. Then you have your SDC. Now your SDC we can't really do yet.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because it's determined.
What an unusual step 2.
It's an unusual step 2 because you would think, oh, well, you should then be able to calculate your SDC now.
When I think of character creation step 2, I don't think of it as an opportunity to learn about SDC.
Yes, exactly. Now, SDC, it's kind of a strange way of putting it in, because you'd think, well, if we put it in the book right here, that means I can calculate it here. You cannot calculate it here because it's determined by the type of hero that you are. So we're just going to put a pin in that. We're going to just say SDC, or structural damage capacity, is what that stands for.
Okay.
Let's think of that as the damage you can shrug off.
I think we're about to get to the good part.
So yes, we're really close to the good part here. We're going to go to step 3 because we're going to skip all this stuff about injuries and comas and everything like that. That's not really necessary. Sure. Step 3 is super important. Here we're going to determine your power category. What is your power category? Well, Phil, this is going to be where the rubber meets the road for your hero category.
Like a percentile here.
Yes, roll percentile. And this is one of those cases where it doesn't really matter. High isn't necessarily better than low.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. First number is the 10s. Boom.
All right, here we go. First is a 7. Okay, that's 74. Interesting. Magic. It's going to be Max Boivin's favorite type of character. a magical character.
The least interesting.
All right. So now we know our
Reroll.
category is magic. Now, before we go much further, because we're going to be flipping all over the book. That's just the way it's designed. But we're going to go to step 4 before we go into that magic, right? We're going to get there. Don't worry, we'll get there. But let's go to step 4, determining education and skills. And if you're following along in your book here, we're going to have to skip ahead a little bit. I'll give you the page number, Phil. And what we're doing is we're going to see how long you were in school. Okay. So you're going to roll percentile dice. I'm on page 45. So yes, that's right. Creating a character. I just jumped 25 pages in the book to complete.
Just like it doesn't tell you to.
Just like it doesn't say go to page 45. It
never
just
mentions
says
that.
So this is the joy. This is back 1984, layout design. And you know what? Once you're used to it, it's not a big deal. Roll percentile. In this case, higher probably is better.
Okay, I see it. 45. Boom. Education level table.
Education level table. This is what you're going to roll percentile to see how many years of schooling did he get. Oh, Spaghetti-O. He got. What is this? You have 10. 10? Is that what you got? 10. All right. So that means you're street schooled. Okay, what does that mean? Well, street schooled
means that I learned on the streets.
It means you have no formal education. Instead, all skills are learned from parents, if any. I like the if any part. And on the streets. Okay, so the character, you automatically get streetwise, prowl, and 3 rogue skills. Well, and that's about it. So there's we're just gonna make a note of this.
Because you got 2 domestic skills,
and you get 2 so you can know how to cook.
8
exactly. You know how to maybe clean, do ironing, something. Maybe you had a job as a housekeeper. Yeah. At any rate, so we've got the education and skills. We're gonna come back to the skills later.
Skills. Put a pin in that one.
We're gonna put a pin in that because let's skip to what everyone wants. What did the people want, Phil? They want
this. They want the
magic. Let's get to the magic. Skipping ahead then to the magic section, which is there's gonna be some groaning there because I thought we were doing superheroes. Why is it magic? Well, we'll do this one. We'll see how fast. Maybe it'll go fast, right? So I'm on we've skipped ahead to page 144.
Of course.
So 144 is the magic section. Now, Phil, guess what? You could either pick this, but why pick it when you can be a real man and roll randomly?
Yeah, thank you.
Roll percentile for me. There are 4 different types of magic superheroes. So roll percentile. We're going to see what it is.
1, boom. 2, boom. 100.
What? Okay. 100 is mystically bestowed. Okay. So mystically bestowed.
Powerful being or force places great power at the character's disposal for him.
This is fantastic. Yes. Now this is your classic Shazam type hero. Yeah. Okay. It's awesome. We're going to skip ahead to it. We're on page 154. Easy. Mystically bestowed abilities.
Wow.
So this is all about you. This is going to be fantastic. Look at what we're going to do with this. Mystically bestowed super characters are usually individuals selected by supernatural force of order or chaos. You get to choose order or chaos. Individually selected is often very ordinary person whose moral integrity and emotional state are deemed to be exactly right to champion their cause.
Oh, so you're supposed to be good if it's good.
Or you just choose to be, yeah, exactly. You think of it this way. So I'm going to be, throughout this stream, I'll be referencing comic book characters. So Shazam is a great example of this. You're just an ordinary kid, but you've been gifted. You have this endowment of magical power that's triggered by a key word that transforms you into this Shazam. Incredibly, chiseled. Yeah, it's a Shazam thing. Yeah. Or if you think of it in the chaotic side, this would be somewhat akin to a character like Spawn, chosen for his ability by supernatural forces to lead the armies of hell against the armies of heaven. Okay, now that's all a lot of talk. Let's go. If you see here, it says adjust all attributes as followed. follows. Look at this. These apply only when the character is transformed. So you would then write, now let's go back up here. So it says here, mental affinity, which we have it as an 11, roll 2d6 for me. You got another 9. That means when you're transformed, your mental affinity is a 20.
Okay.
Hot dog. How about physical strength? Roll 2d6 for me. It's another 7. So the minimum, it says here, the minimum is 20.
Okay.
So we're going to go 20. And then your physical prowess, how quick you are, roll d6. Oh, doesn't matter. You're going to be at an 18. That's your minimum. Okay.
18. Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. So, and your speed, we're going to multiply by 5.
Ooh,
so your speed is going to be 70. That's actually pretty decently fast. Okay. And your SDC is 3d6. Get this, 3d6 times 10.
Should we just generate the SDC as we go?
We're going to generate it right now.
11.
11 times 10, 110. Okay.
Boom.
Now that may change a little bit with skills and other things. Okay. That's what it's like when you are transformed. All right, we're going to skip ahead of the art. There's some nice artwork there.
110 in parentheses then.
Oh, which the ones? Yes, that's right. Because without that, you're just basic. All right. Maybe just young too, when you think about it, right? Maybe you're just.
I don't know. I'm pretty wicked smart.
All right. Then you get street smarts. That's true. We're going to say transformed. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead to the next page.
Okay.
There's some optional physical limitations. This would be when you're not transformed.
Oh, okay. So we got to.
Why don't you roll percentile on this? And this is going to be his physical limitations not transformed.
56. Kid. Hey, I was a kid.
Perfect. So we're going to look at this. It's a 56 kid. All right. Even if a teenager, 10 plus 1d6 years old, roll 1d6 for me.
I'm going to pick up. Okay. 15.
Oh, you're 15. All right. Years old. All right. Cool. No physical attribute can be higher than a 14, which it isn't. So that's fine. Well, I guess your physical beauty is 15. We got to move that down to 14. Okay. That doesn't really make a difference. Okay. 14.
Not to you.
114.
Right. I'm 15 though. So
you're 15. You're a good looking 15-year-old.
Fine looking 15-year-old.
All right. So that takes care of the physical limitations. Well, that's optional. So those that are following along, you don't have to do that.
2 physical skills here.
Yes, that's right. Okay. So type of bestowed super ability. Roll percentile for this, Phil.
Okay. Ooh, I'm getting real abilities here, huh?
You're gonna get your legit abilities. Okay. Yeah.
That was
just a grimoire.
14.
You get 2 major super abilities. It says of choice, but we're not doing that. You're going to roll them.
Yeah, I wouldn't get that.
And okay, so before we leave this, we may as well just finish this off here, Phil, so we don't have to come back to this this page, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we already said.
So we got to get our PPE as well.
We got to get our PPE. So that's 3d4 times 10. Why don't you go ahead and roll that for us? And I'll put that in.
Got to find the 4s.
So that's going to be his PPE.
You want to do it? Is it handy for you?
It's handy for me. 3d4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. 11 times 10, 110. Roll. So sweet roll. PPE is
plus your PE attribute number, though.
Ooh, plus your physical endurance, and your physical endurance is 9. All right.
So we'll add that.
Okay, we'll take it. Okay, and that takes care of that. Now it says here some things just to remember: your special bonuses and abilities. Your when you transform, it creates your battle dress. Okay, your costume. You always appear muscular, strong, healthy, youthful. You have some bonuses here. We're going to just make a note of these bonuses because
I don't mean to alarm you, but we cheated.
We did? How do we cheat?
Our PPE should only be 1d4 times 10 plus 10.
Oh, you're right. It's actually different than that, isn't it? Well, those are super abilities. Let's redo that. You know what?
Yeah.
We're going to do it right here, folks.
My bad.
it's 1d4, and I still have my d4s here. There we go. It's a 4. A 4 times 10 plus 10, which is going to be 50. So we have PPE of 50.
My bad.
There we go. No problem. All right. So we're just going to make some notes here, Phil, as we go through this character, as we're building him out, because we're going to start to accrue some bonuses, here. And so I think it's important that we make a note of them. So versus magic. So this is going to be our saves, right? And then we'll just go and say verse magic, because you can see here we have a +1 to save against magic of any kind. All right, so +1, oops, not equals 1, +1 versus magic. And we also have versus possession. Well, this is important. We have a +1 against that too. Okay.
Good.
And at level 1, we have versus horror. You have a +2 to
seen it before.
You've seen it before.
Seen it all before. Look at this sneaky +2 to initiative.
I know, and you see that format there. What happened there? I wonder. But yes, so we're gonna just go down here. We're gonna have a combat section.
Smart.
Because these things. So we already know for initiative, you have a +2. That's kind of a sneaky one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. Because you easy to miss that. Yeah. And then the other one is a +2 to pull punch. So we're going to say pull punch. And that's going to be a +2 as well. Okay. And that's important. So if you didn't want to, there's just some street thug and you didn't necessarily want to eviscerate the guy with a punch, you can do less damage on that. Okay. So it tells a little bit about that. Underneath other stuff for mystically bestowed attacks per melee. So the hand-to-hand, we're gonna have to select all of that.
Obviously, I'm principled good.
Oh, yeah, of course, because that's what heroes are.
Yeah,
exactly. But we've just glossed over the big news for this character, and the big news for this character are those 2 major superpowers. So we're gonna come down here.
Okay.
Powers, and we have 2 major, and we're going to this is going to be huge. So let's roll these up, because of course.
Okay, let's get them.
Well, let's get them. We're going to get these, and we're going to do this. The now we're just using, those of you if anyone's following along, we're just using the main book. We're not using any of the extra power books at this point. We're just going to stick with the main one. So Phil, roll for me a percentile.
Trying to get to this.
I'm going to get that D4 off my face. There we go.
I found it.
All right. So we're on page 227.
Yeah.
Page 227 has the random minor super abilities, random major super abilities, and Phil has 2 majors. Now, it does say in the book you pick 2 majors, but it's kind of fun to have it be randomized. Let's see what happens.
Sorry, lost them. Here they are.
Page 227.
Boom, boom. Look at this ridiculous.
What is that?
That is 6.
Okay, so we've got 66. Is that right?
No, it's just a 6.
Okay. It's 06. Is that what that is? What is that? Okay.
It's 10.
Okay. So as a percentile, just so I'm clear, what did you get? Because I'm not going to try to read your dice.
6. Alter metabolism.
Alter metabolism. Okay. Now, just as a word of caution, before you start groaning about how terrible a certain power is, just wait. And I'll give you a perfect case in point of this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm leaning way forward so I can reach my keyboard. It's alter metabolism. All right, let's do it again. Let's see what the other one is. There's gonna be all sorts of things with that.
Like 60.
It looks exactly the same to me. How is it different?
The first roll was 6.
Okay, so 60 is the next one. Oh no.
Sonic Flight.
That is so crazy. Okay. All right. Let's start with the one that looks lame, because you'll find that
Sonic Flight.
no, Sonic Flight is absolutely crazy. It's maybe one of the strongest things out there. Okay.
I'm pretty happy about it.
It is absolutely insane. And that'll be a lot of fun. But let's look at this. Let's start off with the one that everyone's like, what? Altered metabolism?
Altered metabolism.
Let's go to that. So
I can use a little bit of that. Am I right, Crispy?
Alter metabolism. Like what? What is this? So let's just look at this together, because I think you'll find that it's actually not as bad as you may think. So this is on page 240. So here's some things. We're just going to make some notes about your altered metabolism. Okay. So let's just go down here. The first thing you note, no sleep.
No, don't even need it.
You don't need it. Why? You just don't need it. It's a superpower. You don't need no sleep till Brooklyn and beyond. Okay.
While the rest of the world sleeps, I grind.
Character can function without ill effect for 2 days plus 8 hours per level experience. After this period, he must sleep for 16 hours. Okay, so you can burn the midnight oil for 2 days straight. So I'm just going to make a note of that. It's not no sleep ever. It's no sleep.
I feel like it should have been no sleep ever.
I think so too. But it's at this point, it's 48 plus, what is it? So it's 56 hours at a time.
Let's see. 48 plus 16. Oh, no. 48 plus 8. 56, yeah.
Okay. So no sleep if you want. Okay. No food or water.
No problem.
Can go 1 day per each level of experience for no food and water.
A day?
That's like one. That's nothing. I've done 3 days myself. Okay.
Yeah. With no water?
No, dry fast, just 1 day. Yeah.
That's great.
All right. So no food or water 1 day. We'll just make a note 1 day. Okay. These are all pretty lame. Let's see if it gets better. Calm self. Here we go. No, it's not lame. It's good. Calm self. What calm self means is, you look at this. So this is why we write this thing down. We got a +1 save versus magic. Ooh. These are always cumulative, by the way.
Another +1. Go ahead.
Well, and not just that, we're getting a +4. You can calm yourself versus horror.
Okay.
All right. Okay. We can keep going. So +4 versus horror.
Oh, you have to turn.
And a +4 to save versus mind control. Oh.
Not on my watch.
And okay, so +4 versus mind control. And a +2, another +2 to save versus possession.
Okay.
Decent. And that calm self is 5 minutes at a time.
I feel like that should be on all the time also. I guess I'm altering my metabolism.
Yep.
You have to turn it off? I mean,
you just kind of flip it on.
Is it an action? This is where the Palladium questions come in.
Yes, those are great questions, Phil. And my answer to those kind of questions is we have to decide, and then we just have to be consistent.
There's a side effect. You have a headache for an hour.
You have a headache for an hour, but you don't have any penalties from it. You just role play the headache.
Yeah.
All right. Adrenal rush.
It's probably a cool down though.
I guess, Lee. I mean,
in the negotiation, I would.
I would say so.
I would say that's the cool.
So the adrenal rush gives a +2 initiative. Okay. All right. A +1 to strike. This is for melee strikes. Oh, parry and dodge. Strike, parry, dodge. And okay, a +4 to your physical strength.
For one attack.
And 1 extra attack.
I don't know if I'm starting to think that you're wait till you see how good this is. It's falling apart here, Chris.
All right, so this can happen. Now this is 1 round. You get this
one
round.
+1 attack, not.
Yeah. So you get +1 attack. So if you had 4, let's say you had 4 attacks, you could choose for 1 round to have 5 attacks. But there's a drawback. The next round, the following round, you have a side effect of -1 on just the combat. All of those +1s.
Yeah.
There you go, -1. So this is going to last 1 round. Okay.
Ooh, hypermetabolism. Uh-oh. Starting to get awesome.
Hypermetabolism. metabolism. So hypermetabolism +2 in initiative. Oh, okay. So you get to choose on this, which one you do. And plus, okay, so it's very similar to the other ones, but it lasts 3 rounds.
Yeah. It says 3 melees, actually.
But yeah, but I think it must be 3 melee rounds. Like, again, we're going to have to read between the lines here because it's essentially the same as the other one. It's just that the side effect is bigger. So I think it's 3 rounds.
Okay.
So we're going to say it's like adrenal rush. Instead of copying this all out, we'll just say adrenal rush.
But it's better.
For 3 rounds.
You get 2 attacks. You get triple your speed.
Oh, wait. It's more than that. Yeah. So we can't do that because it's much better. It's much more. 2 initiative.
Yeah. And you can do both.
Yeah, you could. You can stack them. +1 strike, parry, dodge.
Starting to stack. Look at all that initiative modifier.
Yeah, you get to go fast, right? Yeah. You add 2 attacks, +2 attacks per round, and triple your speed. Okay. Triple speed times 3 speed, but not sonic speed. So they've said, oh, you can't do 3 times the speed of sound. Times 3 normal speed. All right. And now the drawback with that is you're hungry, tired. After 3 rounds, you're hungry and tired. You reduce your normal speed. You're -2 on initiative, straight and parry for 2 hours. Okay. All right.
I gotta.
Yeah,
sorry,
you gotta take care. No, that's fine. I'm just gonna keep going with this.
Okay.
The next one is to slow the metabolism. All right. Now, why would you ever want to do that? Okay. I guess it would just be, it would reduce the effects, duration, and damage of poison. Okay. So it reduces effects of damage. Effects of damage and duration of poison, drugs, gases, and disease. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's slow metabolism. We got one more thing. And that's accelerated healing. This is a good one. Accelerated healing. And what does that mean? Instantly. Okay. In once per. Okay, so you can do 14 SDC or 7 hit points instantly, and that's going to be once per every 20, once, 1 a day. Okay. In addition, the normal healing rate is doubled and no scarring. Normal healing doubled, no scarring. Okay. All right, and there is a duration to that. That is 1 hour per level of experience, and that's 1 hour per level. Okay, and we've got some one-time bonuses, and the one-time bonuses are going to impact the stuff we had put in before. So there's a 1d4 to physical endurance, so another 3 on physical endurance. That's going to boost that to 12. All right. If that put that 3 onto 12, that's going to put 3 onto the hit points. Hit points again, physical endurance plus 1d6. So, and then it also gives 1d6 to speed. So we're going to cross that out. We'll do this. All right, so the speed goes up to a 16. And I guess that would impact the, would it impact that it goes up by that? 5 times, so another 10. So that goes to 80. Oops, not 800. Okay. And then the SDC goes up 15. So this is going to go 125. All right. We're done with that. But we're nowhere near done, folks. So we're 35 minutes in and we're getting there, but we're not there yet. The next thing we have to do is we have to take a look at this Sonic's flight. On page 289. All right. So Sonic Flight gives a number of benefits. I'm going to just try to be quick about this. The main thing here to think of is you can fly at about 700 miles per hour or 1,126 kilometers an hour, right? So that's 1 mile every 5 seconds, which is insane. So here's some of the things that change for the character. The first thing is the character is automatically, because of their speed, is going to get another melee attack. So we gotta make a note of this, because we're gonna eventually every character, regardless of hand-to-hand training, will always have 2 attacks per melee. Let me get rid of this dice. Okay. Go. So we have +1. Oh, let me get this over here. +1. Attack. Oh, make sure my fingers are on the home keys. Attack. +1 attack. Melee attack. +1 melee. And the next thing we get is, okay, 3d4 times 10 SDC. All right, so let's do that. So we have 3d4, 1, 2, 3. I rolled a 6. 6 times 10, so 60. So we're going to add 60 to his SDC. All right. Now, this is an ability that isn't dependent on him being transformed. So I'm thinking here what we need to do is, because we added 15 from his metabolism, his high metabolism. So I think what we need to do here is in the parentheses, we're going to put 185. Now that's the transformed amount. And in here, when he's not transformed, he still has Sonic. I know, you know what? That's not true. He gets the Sonic flight when he transforms. So it would be better to put it here, 185. And we'll just keep it the way it is. See, I'm getting ahead of myself here a little too much. All right. So the next thing is another D4 for his physical endurance. And I rolled a 4. Okay, fantastic. So his physical endurance is going to jump up to a 16. Now it can't get to a 16 because he is young, so he can only go to a maximum of 14. Okay, now his physical endurance went up again. It went up by 2. So his hit points are now at 19. Uh-oh. Somebody's not happy about bedtime. Okay, so sorry about that, folks. We're going to just keep going. We'll plow ahead. All right, we've got that. Okay, and this is interesting. He's going to have +2 initiative at all times. All right. So, no problem. Here we go. All right. I know how you feel. Sometimes this is a little much, but we're going to keep pressing on. So it's +2 initiative and a +1 to strike in flight. Strike. And we're just going to make a note that it's only when he's flying. And the next one is +2 to parry in flight. And +6 to dodge, but only in flight. And then there's some other things. Okay. So at 400 miles per hour, he can do a huge amount of damage, right? So the speed that you go increases the damage, and it gets pretty crazy. The main thing is here is what I would encourage now, the thing to remember is that when you're doing damage at speed against a target, you're going to take a third of that damage. Generally speaking, you're going to take a third of the damage to yourself. So if you run into something really, really fast, some of that damage is going to go through to you. All right. So I'm going to skip over the damage stuff here for now. And I'm going to go to, we're going to go to the next thing, which is extraordinary vision.
Mommy,
and this is 10 times the normal, 10 times greater than normal. Hey, if you have to take care of
hello,
take care of mini me, that's fine. You can. It's no problem. We can.
Oh, can you hear my kid crying?
Yeah. It's all right.
Oh, wow.
She seems pretty upset, the poor little thing.
She is. She was messing with our fan.
Oh no. And
she was told she was told not to.
Oh, kids hate being told not to.
She hates that.
So there's everyone hates that. I don't like being told what not to do.
Especially my daughter.
So what this means here is, and they give an example of this, that means a 2-foot object can be seen 2 miles away.
Dang,
that's what that means.
This initiative modifier I'm getting.
I know, it's crazy. Okay, and then there's more to it. It just keeps going. So
just
this
a
is
casual
all on the flight.
+8 initiative.
Yeah, it's crazy. And going first in this game does matter. It can really matter. All right, so you're unaffected by thin air, high altitude, or G-force under 10. So you can pull 10 Gs. It has no impact on you. You have night vision. I'm going to make a note of this. This is really important.
Oh, wow.
For role play. You have 1,000-foot night vision. So you can fly at night.
What's the page number?
This is on page 289. Your max altitude is 45,000 feet, which is crazy. Anyone who knows anything about aviation will tell you that's crazy. That's pretty good. You're unaffected by thin air.
Am I just like repairing satellites? Right?
Yeah, you're like, that's crazy high. Unaffected by thin air and high altitude, which is the same thing. And in addition to that, I said G-force.
Electronic flight, though.
So the main thing here, you can hold your breath for 5 minutes. That's important to know, because that would be important even when you're not flying.
Oh, when you're repairing the satellites.
For 5 minutes. Plus 20 seconds for every level. It doesn't matter. And then you're resistant to cold. So half damage. So we'll just say 1/2 damage cold. You can tolerate low temperatures as low as freezing with no discomfort. I'll just say low temp, no discomfort.
They really want you up at that 45,000.
It sounds like it, right? They want you up there. There's some other things here. So your acceleration rate, you can go from 0 to 700 miles per hour.
This is those fun like factoids.
Yeah.
That you may never.
Yeah, but this is important because this means you can go from not flying to full speed in 1 melee action. Okay, or in 4 seconds. 4 seconds. and that produces a sonic boom.
That is interesting.
Right? So there's some things that, and then, okay, it just mentions this other thing here. If you're gliding or flying under 100 miles per hour, it's completely quiet. Oh, you can stop quickly, make sharp turns. You can hover at will.
I'm sure if you're at 700 miles per hour, you're completely quiet too. Until you break the sound
barrier. You break the sound barrier.
But so after you break it, you're quiet, right?
So this is just, and the reason why I think it's important, if you're creating a character here, when you're creating a character in this system, it's really important to spend the time. And we're 45 minutes in on this, and it's hey Max, how you doing? And if you're 45 minutes in, here's, I'm going to just share a quick anecdote. In my Heroes Unlimited game on Tuesdays, I have a character who has what I think is the most broken superpower maybe in the entire book. Yeah. And for a while, we all thought it was kind of lackluster. What he can do is his hero can alter the weight of something. Now, at first you think, well, that's kind of lame. But no. When you read what it actually does, it's incredibly powerful. For example, he can make someone weightless, and then they just throw them up and they just drift off in the wind. Like you could then, once they're maybe, I don't know, 300-400 feet up, you can change that so that and then just pile weight onto them so that they slam into the ground. You wanted to stop a car, you just change the weight of the brake pedal so that it's 500 pounds. Now, good luck getting that off the floor, right? Or if you wanted to cause it runaway acceleration or something, you could do the accelerator. You could make someone's foot 400 pounds heavier.
Oh my God.
Like you could do all of these things. Like this is so, because it doesn't give a whole lot of commentary. And when it comes to the sonic flight, I think they give a little more commentary of what this looks like.
The alter metabolism is pretty straightforward too.
It's pretty straightforward. The metabolism one, it just gives you the ability to speed up or slow down your internal bodily functions.
Yeah.
Slow metabolism, if you're being affected by disease or drugs or gases or what have you. Speed it up if you wanted to, be faster. So the sonic flight thing is cool, and it's important that they note that you can. And I'm just going to make this as a final note here on this power, and then we can do the finishing touches on this character.
So what is this guy carrying? He's like got a spear. It's just like
maybe, yeah. Well, we haven't got there yet. All right, so I just note this because this could very much be important. Is that you can stop quickly, change direction, make sharp turns.
Probably not.
Hover at will. Yeah. So so try to think, you got to think outside the box a little bit with these things, right? That's the sonic flight one's not too bad because everyone kind of can visualize that.
Yeah.
So after adding those two powers, so alter metabolism and sonic flight, your SDC is up to 185.
Okay.
Because we got a bunch from sonic flight. We've got this speed value here transformed of 80. It went up a bit because your speed increased when your metabolism increased, right? So, and
no, it goes up when I go into my magic form.
Exactly. So now you're right. It does.
But the hypermetabolism gives you another 3.
Gives you more, right? Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah. So and what is that? Fly so here's like, you can fly really fast, but if you're 3 times normal speed with hypermetabolism, then you're up to 3 times 80, right?
Yeah.
So 3 times 80 is going to be your speed. What does that equate to in terms of actual speed? Well, again, we're all over the place here in this book, but if you wanted to figure out what the speed is calculated. Every 10 points of speed equals about 7 miles per hour or 11 kilometers an hour. So
wow.
if you're 8 times 3, right? So you're up to 240, right? 240 divided by 10, so we get 24. 24 times 7. So you're running at about 150 miles per hour.
Yeah, 280.
Yeah. So or about 241 kilometers an hour, roughly speaking. It's in that neighborhood, 150 to 180 miles per hour. So you can move very quick. Okay. Yes, it would be very useful in real life. Exactly. You're like, no, I don't have to worry about carbs. Bring them on. It's no problem. I can change my metabolism. All right. So that gives you some rough ideas. We've gone through the powers.
You know, I'm looking at Ultra Metabolism. I'm not seeing anywhere that lets you eat a bunch of cupcakes.
No, that's true. Although you can just go without food for a while.
But I don't want to. I want to eat
But
cupcakes
why would you want to?
my whole life.
Eat
And
cupcakes.
have my 6-pack.
Yeah. Well, and you're a 15-year-old. So it's all about the body image. All right. So we've done the SDC now. We can go back to the character creation. Step 5.
Oh, yeah.
Step 5 in character creation. We're all the way back to page 20. This is where you decide whether you're an anti-hero or a hero.
Yeah, I had a little tab there.
You had a little tab there? Perfect. So you'd go back, and here it's important when you're running a superhero game to have some thoughts over what your code is. What kind of code is it? So you're going to do principled, you're going to be scrupulous, you're going to be unprincipled, anarchist. You know, generally speaking, it's going to be one of those 4 typically. Maybe not so much on the anarchist side, but it could be. And
I have to pick good or evil.
Well, yeah. In your case, chaos or
magic.
Order. Yeah, exactly. So good or chaos. And then after that, we go to step 6. So step 5 is the alignment.
Dang,
so
even principled good guy just avoids lies. Come on.
That's well, good. Yeah. I mean, you can parse out very carefully how the examples that are given, and there is some leeway on some, and there's no leeway on other things. So be aware of that. So if you were going to say, let's just put your alignment in here just so that we can say we've done it. So let's go alignment.
I really want to be able to say, I can't do that. That's breaking and entering.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Exactly. All right. Now we're on to step 6 of rounding out your character. Now, there's some optional rules here. It might be fun to go through these, Phil. Where I'm on page 24. This is cash on hand. You know, how much money do you have in your pocket?
Oh, yeah. We got to go through this.
What's your job?
46.
46 times 10. Yeah.
Rerolling that one. Boom. 17, $170.
She's got $170 in his pocket. So in this place, I would start. We haven't done skills, so we'll just go equipment.
I was hoping I was using a Ridge wallet.
I love those. All right, so it was $170. Yeah, 170
in my pocket.
Okay. All right.
Good. In my shoe.
What's your job? I'm gonna just make your occupation.
I like the idea of being like a fast food kid.
So you could deliver pizza.
Paper route. That's a good way.
Pizza delivery.
Yeah.
All right. So what was the job?
I want to be Chinese delivery.
Okay, so food delivery. So job is food delivery.
And let me tell you, that boss of mine really rides my ass.
It's funny. I have one of the players in my Heroes Unlimited game. He has extra pair of arms. He's an experiment. He's the dishwasher in a Chinese restaurant. He loves it. He's like he's like employee of the month every month. He's got extra hands. All right. You can live alone. You're 15. So you're probably at your parents' house.
No, I live on the streets.
That's right. You're on your school of hard knocks. You have some personal possessions.
I don't have
basic
my
superhero
as a 15-year-old.
So a character new to superheroes has the most basic equipment. What does that mean? In your case, you're magically bestowed. So when you transform into your magical alter ego, it includes the battle dress. It has the costume already. You also would have maybe a weapon of choice. You said you wanted a spear or something like that. So you could have that.
I think so. I think we'll have one of those sweet palladium pikes.
Nice. Okay. I've got pictures of those. We'll tell you the page number on that. You also would have, according to this, a CB or police radio to listen to police calls and other citizen band radio channels. Because
it's hard being principled while on the streets.
Yeah. You're more looking for, what you could legally do, I guess. Principled on the streets. Yeah, that's going to be tough.
It's a tough one.
You're just trying to be an honest guy.
That's probably why I was chosen.
That's why you were chosen. Because notwithstanding life has conspired against you.
And so many opportunities for
so many opportunities to be shady, and you're not.
Yeah.
Clean cut. So on page 25, Phil, you'll see that there's optional rules.
Talk about how badass this character is turning out to be.
I mean, it's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. And the best part of this always is coming up with your superhero name. I mean, it's just awesome. Okay.
So a 15-year-old comes up with this name.
Exactly.
Let's go through the character creation so we can time it properly.
Yes, that's right. So here we go. Optional rules. I think we probably should go through this.
Obviously, we have to do this.
So roll percentile for me. This is going to be your birth order.
Okay. Do you mind rolling?
Don't mind at all. I've got percentile lined up right here. 45. All right. So that is, you were the third born.
Yeah.
Rough. Okay. Third born.
So that's my brother, my little brother. Fourth born.
Oh, right. Technically my sister, third born. Okay. And 66 for your weight. You're a little husky.
Oh, good. I love getting the husky on Palladium.
Third born.
I don't know why I like husky so much. You think I might turn the old metabolism on.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But the problem is the metabolism only makes my transformed version more shredded. It doesn't actually affect.
You're short.
I'm a mere boy.
You're short.
A simple boy. A short, tubby little boy.
So we already know your age. You're 15.
Third of 5.
15 years old.
I figured that out.
All right.
Like disposition.
Let's do it. Let's see what the disposition is, Phil. 23.
I'm a worry wart.
You worry.
I'm a worry wart.
Worry wart.
Nervous and cautious. That sounds good. Kind of like I'm always like protecting. I'm always like, oh, you shouldn't do that.
Of course.
You're going to get into trouble.
Let's see.
That's like
you don't have life savings. You're 15. So
$170.
You have 170 life savings.
Yeah.
Don't spend it all in one spot. Okay, 94.
Let's roll it.
Roll 94. Oh, you want to roll the life savings? You got $10,000.
Nice. How did I get it? Don't know.
Well, I mean,
probably had an uncle. Died. He was like,
inheritance.
Hey, take this baseball card.
Yeah,
it's like baseball cards.
All right, and 61. Oh no,
I'm Canadian.
You're Canadian. I'm
just
sorry.
Like Wolverine.
You're like Wolverine,
except
short and young and cautious, warrior.
You're nothing
like Wolverine. You're nothing like Wolverine. All right, so Canadian.
All of a sudden, my character is much less interesting.
Yeah, and all of a sudden we don't like him. 61 again. Let's do this again and make sure
my
that
environment.
It's not
I was from a large city, Toronto, probably.
Oh, the big stink.
The big stink.
Nobody likes that.
I'm out of there.
Yeah, that's right. Comic book Wolverine was short. I do remember him. I mean, in my comic books, he's short. Yeah.
Is he husky?
I'd call him
husky. Like shredded.
He's like a badger, like an actual Wolverine. He's close to the ground and tough. Yeah. Okay. Let's go social economic background. Here we go.
I learned on the streets. Okay, there we go. Military, middle class. I was a military kid.
Military
Makes
kid.
sense.
Military brat. Military background. Military kid. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, when extraordinary abilities manifested,
Yeah.
child, preteen, early teens, or late
Let's roll it
teens.
and see if it makes sense.
Let's see if it makes sense, because one of them won't.
Give them a chance.
Oh, that'll work. That'll make sense. Preteen.
Was it preteen?
Preteen
Cool.
when powers arrived. Parateen? No, preteen. Preteen. Come on.
Parateen.
Parateen when powers manifested. That's when you were chosen.
I went from preteen to creatine.
You did. Okay, we're going to skip the crazy insanity, crazy heroes.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Powered by food.
Should I become a mega hero right now?
A which now?
Mega hero, or is that
mega hero? No, we're not going to do mega heroes. You didn't roll the mega hero. All right, but we are going to do this. We can't. We haven't done the skills yet, and we have to pick the skills.
Obviously, we have to. Yeah.
So your skills, on your case, because you are street schooled.
It's a good thing I put that tab.
Okay. So you have that tab on page 44, 45. So we're going to, and this will finish off the character, believe it or not. This will finish it off.
I'm also
we're going to go down here. We're going to go
physical skills from my magic child.
So just keep it, okay, here we go. You automatically, I'm just going to put in the ones you automatically have.
Thank you.
Okay. So you automatically have
Streetwise.
And it says at plus 14%. What does that mean? Well, if you look up the skills in the book, and I actually have the Game Master's book here just because it already gives me all this information. And we're looking at Streetwise.
So I got this book. This is my hard copy.
Oh yeah, that's the one I used to have, but I've lost it.
The one that you said you wish you had.
I wish I had that because I still really like that one.
Yeah, the art's way better on the cover, I think.
The cover is, I like the cover a lot more.
Also, I don't know if you noticed this, but sorry, hold up. Boop. Boop. Forget it.
It doesn't. What is it?
This is going to be very important. But Eli, he has like a taser rod.
Oh, he does.
There's a dude with a taser rod on my cover.
Oh man, that's awesome. Okay, so the base skill for Streetwise is 20% at level 1, but because it says you have plus 14, your percentage is 34%. Okay. Now in this game, and I may have mentioned this in my review, but in this game, it's always roll under. So it's percentile roll under that to succeed. I mean, only 15, so you can't expect too much, right? That was one you had. You also have Prowl plus 5%. So,
well, even if I was an old man, that's what I would have.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
and the base skill for Prowl, is 25. So, and you have a plus 5. So that's a Prowl at 30%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you have 3 rogue skills, but no hacking, and 2 domestic skills.
Let's go to rogue 2 technical skills.
So let's go to rogue skills first. Rogue skills are these: card sharp, computer hacking. Yeah. So this is like counting cards, and that's what that would be.
I don't know rogue. Oh, these are skill programs.
Yeah. No, this is the actual skills, all of them. So ventriloquism, Streetwise, you already have. Seduction, no, not appropriate. You're 15. Safe cracking, Prowl, you already have. Pickpockets, pick locks, palming, find contraband and illegal weapons, concealment, and computer hacking. Those are your choices.
Seduction. I'm joking.
You're not choosing seduction as a 15-year-old.
Obviously, I don't know what find contraband and illegal weapons is, but that's number 1 because I'm a hero.
Okay.
And I think
find contraband. Okay, cool.
I think you get 3, he said?
Yep, you get 3 of them.
Pick locks. And concealment.
And this is 26%.
These are all skills that I would use if I was a liar. You know,
pick locks and
should I get
concealment.
pockets? Should I get pickpockets? Let's get pickpockets. Screw concealment.
Instead, okay, pickpockets. And we just take a look at the base skills for those, which are not high.
I don't think I get any modifiers for them.
It's so low. It's such a bad roll, but that's okay. So you can get a chance.
You're supposed to be giving out bonuses.
Well, yeah. I don't. Okay, so
no one does.
No one does. You also have weapon proficiency, knife or automatic pistol, your choice.
Well, we'll take the is pike an option?
Nope.
All right, well, we'll take the
knife. All right, got it. And then the next one is you have 2 domestic skills.
Okay.
Take a look at that. 2 domestic.
Take a look. I think we got to pick cook.
Cook. Okay, that makes sense.
And
cook. Come on.
Dance.
Oh, of course, dance. Of course.
I should get sewing. Let's get sewing.
Cook and sewing. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's already too. I gotta take dance for when I go to that. When I go to that.
Dance is fine.
When I go to that prom.
Husky short guy needs to know how to dance. All right. 30.
How dare you?
Go.
How dare you?
So you got your 2 domestics.
Yeah.
Okay, and then on top of that, you get 2 technical and 2 technicals. Now the technical skills are a little dated in this because it's an older game. You have like art.
My spandex hero suit is summoned with magical.
Yeah, Eli, you don't have to sew the suit.
Don't need it.
He just Shazams it right onto his body.
You don't even need it.
And then he grows another foot or 2.
It's easy.
It's easy. And then he goes through the prom.
And then I'm no longer a short, chubby Canadian.
Oh no, he's the worst kind of Canadian. Okay, so technical skills. Here's your choices. You get pick up. You pick the 2 that make the most sense to you. Art, business and finance, computer operation, computer programming, general repair and maintenance.
Am I literate yet?
Law. You can choose literacy. There it is. Literacy is part of technical.
I should probably know how to read.
Okay. So we're going to say literacy is 1.
We'll take photography just in case I need to
take some pictures. So literacy and photography is what you want?
Get them evidence. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's add those in. So we've got our literacy, 30%. Doesn't skip English class.
No, sir.
That often. And then photography. Because you may have to Peter Parker things.
I'm kind of smart. I got like an IQ 14. So
yeah, you're not bad at all, actually. All right, 35% photography.
Literacy is one of those skills that should give you IQ points.
Oh yeah, totally. All right, so you have 8 secondary skills, and your secondary skills. So you may ask yourself,
what's the limitation?
What's the limitation on my secondary skills? To look that up, turn to page 47, and it'll tell you here on page 47 on the right-hand side, it says the secondary skill list.
Okay.
And then it gives you the categories, and it tells you, okay, physical, pilot, science, weapon proficiencies. And this is if you wanted to get your weapon proficiency spear or pole arm or whatever, that's where you would pick that. So you have 8 of them to pick.
Let's start with weapon proficiency spear.
Okay, good. That's arm. So you have 7 left.
The one that gives me the pike.
Okay, so we're going to do weapon proficiency spear. Okay, and then you have. I do recommend. Now you have to pick. Well, you don't have to, but I recommend boxing. You pick. You can't pick boxing; it's excluded from you. But you can do a hand-to-hand, and you should do at least hand-to-hand basic, right? And that hand-to-hand basic costs 1.
We're going to go all the way to martial arts here.
That costs 3. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Because I want to capitalize on my attacks per melee.
You're going to meta this? All right. So that costs 3. Spear cost 1. You have 4 more to spend.
Okay. I did. Is that meta that I'm a martial artist?
No, you could say you grew up as in a military household.
I could
right?
say, but I didn't say before I picked it.
Well, no,
But now I'm after the fact. I'm deciding.
but we
why
did
it
roll
makes
that.
sense.
It's right up here, right? You were a military kid, so
Yeah, I was a military kid.
it makes sense that you'd have that training.
It makes sense.
It just
Why
makes
question
sense.
it. All right, so
It just works. Okay.
Let's go ahead and grab some first aid.
Okay, good.
Okay. And since I was in the military, let's get that recognized weapon quality.
Oh, okay, here we go. Recognized weapon quality.
Just more of the detective style skills that I'm looking for fighting crime.
Okay, good.
I think I should know how to drive a little bitty dirt bike.
Okay, so
pilot basic motorcycle.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like I have like 1 or 0 left. 1 more.
I think you have 1 left.
Yeah. Okay, let's get. How much are we into radio basic?
You want to do radio basic?
I feel like if you're playing Palladium Modern or after that, and you don't have radio basic, good luck.
Good luck. You got to have radio basic.
Good luck. I'm actually going to take Wilderness Survival.
Oh, nice.
It's like a little camping. I was like camp.
Yeah,
I was in the ROTC style.
You were a Boy Scout.
Things, yeah.
Wilderness Survival. All right. And you'll notice I don't have percentages for those. I'm just going to quickly get those in, and then this will be pretty much complete, although we have to just build out some of the combat
I didn't pick
side
any of the physical skills. Is that a mistake?
No, I mean...
Should I have taken running just to really mess with my ×7 speed?
I probably should like everyone takes boxing.
Instead of pilot motorcycle, take running.
I mean, I suppose. I know it's good. It's good. It's all good.
Just to make my speed stupid.
So your first aid.
Nah, this is good.
45%.
I feel like I'm fast enough. I don't know.
And recognized weapon quality. What's that going to be?
It's a military skill.
That is 25%.
I'm not good at anything.
No. Pilot motorcycle 60%. You're pretty good at that. Yeah. And wilderness survival is 35%. A third of the time you don't die in the wilderness. Okay. But just 1/3 of the time.
Guys, I really don't think I should go to the wilderness.
No. All right. So, okay, here we're not quite done. You may think we're done. No, we're not quite
still
done.
Got to go through a weapon proficiency.
We have to go through. Yeah, we have to go through the combat side of things. Remember, we were starting to write these down.
Yeah.
So we also have to now. So we have to consider things like attacks per melee. This is really important. You always have 2. So you have 2 base, right? Plus you have martial arts is 2.
Okay. Where's that?
So
where's that?
I'll give you that to you here. It's on page 71. So just right next door on page 71.
Right next door.
An additional 2 attacks per melee. So that's going to put our 2 up to 4.
Okay.
It also says we have a +3 to roll with punch, fall, impact.
Okay.
And +3 to pull punch. So our pull punch is now going to be a +5. And
so you
then
start with 2 and you get an additional 2.
Yeah, that's right. That's how that works.
I've always played that wrong.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. No, every character has 2 basic. Okay. But you add those 2 from your training, and then this other one here we have to roll with punch. So we have to roll with punch.
Ooh, more initiative.
And this one is 3 +2 on initiative, so that's going to go to a 4. And we don't have to worry about the next one because it's just level 1.
The pull punch.
But we're not done here, because if you look at down here under Sonic Flight, you have a +2 to initiative at all times. So that moves that to 6.
Good.
You have a +1 to strike in flight. Oh, and you have +1 attacks. So you have 5. You start with 5. Okay. If you use your adrenal rush, you're going to have 6 for 1 round. If you use hypermetabolism, you'll have 7 for 3 rounds.
Or 8 if I use both.
8 if you use both for 1 round. So, but
your base,
yeah, that's right. I pokey. Okay. So when you're now here, you have the strike and parry.
Not a lot of strike bonuses.
No, you don't. Well, you're going to have more though, because you have to consider, Phil, you have
until a
physical prowess of 18. So
yeah.
if we go all the way back to page 15,
we should
back and forth. 18 gives you a +2 parry dodge bonus and a +2 to strike. So when you're transformed, and let's face it, all that matters is when you're transformed, for the most part. Otherwise,
I don't transform for my Chinese food job.
Well, no, of course. So you're
when we're doing the slice of life episodes.
So it's +2. Your parry is +2.
I'd put that in parentheses to denote transform bonus.
Okay, we can do that. Absolutely. And we should probably do that with this attacks per melee, right?
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Because that one came from your Sonic Flight.
Yeah. So 4 next to it, because I have 4 base.
Yeah.
As a fat boy.
And your initiative too would be different, right? It's 4. Sure. It's a 4 or a 6 transformed.
Yeah.
Or higher because of the adrenal rush, right?
I think the pull punch is too.
Yeah, I think you're right. So the pull punch.
It's +3 stat. It's +2 on the. It's from the actual transform.
Oh, that's right. It was. Yeah. So it's +2 from that. So. Or, no, it was +3, wasn't it? I think it was +3. So that's a transformed one.
The roll is the roll.
Oh, that's martial arts. Yeah. It's this one here, this pull punch.
Yeah, pull punch. I think it was a +2 on the transform.
Okay,
but maybe it wasn't.
I think you're right. +2. Oops. Okay. All right.
But I'm not satisfied until we're sure.
+3. We'll go back and check it. Okay, so no, that was 5. Okay. So now we've got our base for our combat. What makes yours so challenging is that we're tracking 2 of them, right? Because we have your transformed and your untransformed. And on top of that, you have a weapon proficiency. We also have to figure in your damage bonus when transformed. When you're not transformed, you don't have any bonuses at all. But when you're transformed, your physical strength jumps higher. So you have a damage bonus.
The pull punch is +3 for martial arts.
It's +3 for martial arts. So that's why it's this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So we've got that done. Now the damage for your strength when transformed into your alter ego. Hi, Justin. We're doing this live character creation. It was someone's idea. Someone just joined the stream. Thanks for doing that. So what was I going to say? Your physical strength is 20.
Damage modifier.
So your damage modifier for physical strength on hand-to-hand damage. So this is not obviously using a gun. It won't apply. But you're going to add 5 damage to every time you hit something. Okay.
I don't use guns.
No, you're too young.
Reason.
You're too young. Well, I'm glad you could make it. Thanks for joining, Justin. So okay, we've got this.
Put that +5 in parentheses.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because it's only when you're transformed.
That's right.
Okay. We also have to. Yeah.
We go to 24, so we'll be at +9. It's just +1.
So when you're transformed,
when I use
you can carry 20 times your physical strength.
Oh, nice.
In I just have to check something here now. I'm flipping back to the magic class, magically bestowed, to see what type of physical strength.
7 tabs open now.
Okay, so what I'm looking at is because this game has different categories of strength, there's some strength that is considered super natural. There's some that's extraordinary, and it changes the math on things. I'm not seeing anything that would change the math on this. So I think that unless I'm missing it here on page 154, I'm looking to see.
Of course.
Yeah. So back on page 154, we're looking at this class to see whether or not the strength is called supernatural. And it does not appear to be called supernatural. I'm looking at it here under other stuff.
This is when should we haggle about it? Should it be haggled?
No.
Okay.
I think if it doesn't specifically say it, then we just go with what it normal would be. You're a strong character, which means you can carry 20 times your physical strength is your carry limit. So on your character sheet, you've got a place here for this. So your maximum carry is going to be what, 400 pounds, 20 times 20. That's how much you can carry. But you can lift twice that. Let's see here. Strong characters carry.
You should note that for Mystically Endowed, I'm supposed to have an additional 2d4 $1,000.
Oh yes, that's true. You can add that to your life savings.
I'm gonna roll it.
Okay, so and this is where this is what takes all the time when you're making characters for this game. So you have to now go into it and do all these kind of fiddly things.
I have $5,000 more dollars.
Okay, so you have, go back up here.
Thank you.
15,000. There you go. And you can lift.
Oh, also I own a car. 90% chance I own a car.
You're 800 pounds. If you own a car, you can't have a license.
Because I own a car unless I'm paralyzed, which I'm not.
All right. So these are your I actually put these in parentheses.
Can I get my dirt bike?
Yes. Okay. Well, you can have a moped because you don't have a license yet. So it has to be under 50 cc's.
I'm like the kid from Terminator 2 though.
Okay.
I have his bike.
So, and again, Phil, parentheses means you only get that when you're transformed.
Of course.
Only time you're going to get that. All right. Now, anything else? Yes, there's a couple things we have to check on because you have a weapon proficiency and we had chosen, or you wanted the spear, I think.
I believe it was a pike.
Pole arm. Was it a pole arm? You wanted like
pikes are pole arms.
Okay.
Is the ancient weapons at the back? Usually it is.
It's on page 61.
Oh.
The actual weapons themselves are at the very back.
Yeah.
On page.
Yep, I'm looking at it.
350.
There's that pike. It's a pole arm.
It's a pole arm. Okay.
5 meters long.
Holy smokes. That's what you want? All right.
Yeah, well, I'm flying.
You're flying with your bike.
Stabbed out at it.
Why not?
Why not I do that?
I think that's great. Okay. So we're going to change your weapon proficiency from spear to polearm because you had already said you wanted the pike.
It's going to cost me like $300 though.
So let's go under equipment. Oh, you've loaded. What are you worried about? $170 on hand?
I only got 170 on me if I sell some of these bearer bonds.
Okay, so you have a pike. The pike does 2d6 damage.
It does, yeah.
You're going to make a note here. It's 5 meters long. Oh, it's hilarious. And you have weapon proficiency with polearm, which means you have a +1 to strike.
It is two-handed for the record.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's definitely two-handed. So I'm going to put that in. And it has a +1 to strike.
Does it?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, because of my weapon proficiency?
Yep. +1 to strike at level 1, +1 to parry at level 1. And when you throw it, it's +1 to strike at level 2, 5, 9, and 14. So when you're using this, you would take, the way this works is you would add, if you were flying, it's not going to fit on.
I keep it.
He does it like a medieval joust on his moped with his like Chinese food delivery in the back. Yeah. All right. So what are we looking at? So your strike is +2, but it's +3 when you're flying.
Yeah.
So
now we're getting the brackets. Yeah.
So and the same thing applies. Like you can see how this becomes really like +2 to parry in flight only.
Yeah.
So this becomes +4.
+4
when flying. And then you have a dodge.
I finally got a dodge. Oh, but I should have a dodge already from the PP.
Yes, your dodge just from the PP bonus is +2. Mm-hmm. Oops. But it's +8 when flying.
Good luck hitting me when I'm flying around.
Yeah, it's good when you're flying.
I feel like I should just have a static dodge going when I'm flying at 700 miles per hour.
Well, that adds another layer of complexity to the system because, yes, I have those. And I have, Eli, yes, I have the ninjas and super spies, and which it gives all sorts of different
ninjas and super spies. I've been trying to find that guy.
It's fantastic. I got it in hardcover. I love it. Villains and Unlimited I have as well, and all of the power books. So we have,
How classy does Elias's profile picture look?
He looks great. It's professional.
I want him to sell me a craft beer.
It's nice. It's a really nice picture. Okay, now when you're using your pike, your 5-meter pike, you have to keep in mind your strike, parry, and all of that is going to adjust. So your strike on this is going to be your +1 from your weapon proficiency, plus this. If you were flying, it'd be +3. So I'm going to just put, if you're flying, it's going to be a +4, Jeez. Right? So this is where you have to trust your players to do all of this, right? So, well, what I was going to say, Law Dog, is that there's you've got it here. There's a penalty to strike moving targets, and the faster they go, the harder it is to hit. So,
good. So when I'm going 700 miles per hour,
700 miles per hour, it's really hard to hit them.
It's weird that it's like at 20 and 70 when I'm doing the increments. Thanks, Palladium. So that's going to be...
it's going to be a lot.
I don't want to do the math.
+4 when
14, -14.
And then you can do this. You can go parry. So your parry is going to be, what is that? It's going to be +5.
You get where's the weapon proficiency at?
Weapon proficiency is on page 61.
Thank you.
+4 when flying, so it's going to be a +5 when flying. And 1 less if you're not, or no, 2 less if you're not. And then it just goes. Oh, and then your damage, of course. Now your damage bonus is going to be +5, but that's assuming that you're not moving. If you move, it goes up. It goes up.
Like I'm goring people with this thing.
Yeah, you can just pin cushion
my
people.
Adamantium pike.
Mm-hmm.
It's adamantium now.
Yeah, it's adamantium. So we've gone through most of the fiddly bits here. You've got your weapon. We kind of sort of maybe know what you would add to your roll if you tried to hit something with it.
Can we put in a little modifier here that says what the speed would be if I was goring someone at 700 miles per hour?
Yeah, so this is where it gets really interesting. When you start to look at the damage for moving quickly, right?
I want to be a dragoon now. I'm dragooning on top of people.
Oh, it kind of gets crazy, Phil. It gets crazy. So if we look at here, superhuman speeds in combat. Mm-hmm. So I'm on page, because you can also run really fast, right? Like you're very fast.
Yeah.
If you trigger
I can run at about 200 miles an hour or something.
Yeah. Like so if he hits his ultra metabolism, hyper metabolism, it triples his speed. His speed is already, what did we figure it out to be? It's 80. So the way you figure that out is 80 divided by 10. So 8 times 7. That's how many
56.
miles per hour. So it's 56 miles per hour.
Oh, okay. Not 200 then.
But it triples if you're using your adrenal thing, right? Your hypermetabolism.
So 168 miles per hour.
So it gets crazy because you get a +4 damage for every 20 miles per hour that you're traveling.
+4?
Mm-hmm. For every 20.
Okay.
So if you think of it that way,
an additional 40 damage.
Yeah. Or if you were flying at 700 miles per hour.
Ooh, baby. That's 140
divided by 20. Like it's kind of crazy. So
20.
well, if you think of it this way,
is that like 2,800?
Well, when we can do the math on it.
Let's do the math.
Let's do the math on it because we have to do the math on it now.
Yeah, because I have to put it in parentheses.
So
I'll never know.
700. Well, let's do 700 divided by 40 because that's +8, right? Every 40 is +8. That's 17 and a half times 8. That's an extra 140 damage. But be aware, if you hit something going that fast, you'll take a third of the damage.
Okay. So 140. I'm a missile.
At least. Yeah.
I'm better than a missile.
So that's at full speed. If you were running, what do we figure? Your 56 miles per hour times 3. 168.
168, yeah.
Divided by 40 is 4.2. So we'd say 4. Go to the nearest full integer, like the full whole number. So not integer, full whole. So 4 times 8. At full speed, 32. You're going to do an extra 32 damage. So we'll put that in here under damage, full speed, full running speed, what should we call this? Full,
I'd call it speed.
Metabolic speed. Full metabolic speed is, what is it?
I'm going to need 6 different numbers here.
And then full sonic speed. What did we? I've got to do that again because I didn't do it right. 700 divided by 40 is 17 and a half. So we're going to round down to 17. 17. Well, wait. No. I'm shortchanging you. 700 divided by 20 is 35. 35 times 4 is 140. I think that's what we figured out anyway. Yeah. 140. Cool. At full, that's at full sonic speed,
and that's on top of the 5. Like, let's not try to short.
That's right. So it's actually, you're right. It's 145.
Don't start.
And this is 37. Yeah, that's right.
Don't do that.
Right.
That's gonna.
You're absolutely right, Phil. I was shortchanging you. Absolutely. It's kind of crazy. I think that's. Yeah. But I think have we got everything? I think we've got everything.
Now, when I'm coming in with the pike.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just gonna probably let go of the pike.
Well, yeah, because you could. Well, here's the thing. This is where, and anyone who's still watching after an hour and a half of this,
like, get real angelic.
This is where thinking outside of the box is encouraged in this game. Like my story of the hero that could change the weight of things. At first, it seems like nothing until you realize he could get a slingshot and change the weight on the slingshot steel marble while it's in flight, so that it's something that's the size of a steel marble with the surface area of a steel marble, but now it weighs 100 pounds when it hits.
That's pretty cool.
That's going right through most things, right? So and in this case with your sonic speed, you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm not real keen on taking the full damage. Why would you take the full damage? You would accelerate in 4 seconds from 0 to 700 miles per hour, and you'd let go of the spear and then decelerate or bank away because you can do quick maneuvers, right?
Yeah, and when I land, I'm obviously doing a 3-point hero pose.
Of course, every time.
While the guy is like,
but the spear, if he lets go of the spear, it's still traveling at 700 miles per hour. It's going to do an extra 145 points of damage when it hits its target. Oh, and don't forget the 2d6, like that matters. But that's the kind of thing you like. It's a game where we spend all this time, an hour and a half, going through all of the and I'm glad. I was worried when you rolled magic. I'm like, oh, it's magic. I was hoping for more of a superhero, but it is a superhero. You have two major superpowers: ultra metabolism and sonic flight.
Yeah.
And when you just look at this, you can carry 400 pounds.
Oh yeah, I did get carry weight out of it.
You can get the carry weight 400 pounds. It takes you 4 seconds to accelerate from 0 to 700 miles per hour. You pick up something that's 400 pounds, you accelerate up, and then you just dive bomb things, hitting them with a 400-pound weight. Like, it's crazy at full sonic speed. It's just amazing.
I gotta get some good boots.
So I mean, I think it's great. I love it. But it is a game where you have to, as the guy running the game, I think it's important that you have to take a step back and say, look, the players are supposed to cheese the crap out of everything. You're supposed to do that. Because when I was explaining this to my buddy, who was like, I don't think this power is any good. And I'm like, what do you mean? You can change something's weight instantly and it doesn't change its size. That's incredibly overpowered. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, how much does a solid slug, 12 gauge solid slug weigh? It weighs 1 ounce. A 12 gauge solid slug weighs 1 ounce. You can change the weight of that. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yes, you can.
I think that seems like hard though, because like you're shooting a bullet. It's got to get out of the gun before you change the weight on it.
The muzzle velocity of most shotguns is nowhere near what it is on a rifle. Like if you train yourself to keep your eyes open, you'll definitely see the wad traveling. Even if that's the only thing that you could make heavier is the wad behind the behind the ounce or behind the buckshot, that would still be incredibly lethal because the surface area hasn't changed. Or here, if you're worried about how quickly it's going, just get a beanbag gun. You can fire beanbags and increase the weight of the beanbag. You don't even have to give it a lot. A 5-pound beanbag is going to do incredible amounts of damage.
Just throw baseballs at people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could just toss someone a baseball when they reach up to grab it. It's now 400 pounds or 500 pounds. Like. But it's still the size of a baseball. It doesn't get bigger. It just gets incredibly, like the mass is just spiked. Or you can go the other way. So you could do all of this. And I'm like, they were fighting some flying things. And I'm like, any flying creature that comes near you should just immediately die. Because you could just say, well, I'm just going to make one wing 500 pounds. And then it's going to cartwheel out of the sky. It's done. Every one of them. He's like, oh, I didn't think of that. I just thought that I could only make the whole thing. And I'm like, no.
I wonder if it would work against sonic flight. Like if I'm just like,
well, it would if he can. Well, yes, if he given enough time and if he stayed close enough,
to lift yourself.
Yeah, because he could make you 5 tons. That's the upper limit of how much he can change someone's weight, but he'd have to be able to do it over time because he can only do, in every 15 seconds, he can do 500 pounds. And he has to be within 100 feet of you. So as long as you were flying away from him, then it wouldn't affect him and it wouldn't affect you. But
I'm saying, like, I have sonic flight and you have weight manipulation.
Oh yeah. It's going to be.
Can't I fly? Are you turning off my flight?
No, you can't really turn off.
It's not winged flight. It's just like my will.
The only way he could shut off your flight, just shut it off, would be make it so that your mass was greater than what you could lift. Like if you're, so in other words, he doesn't have to make you heavy. No. But he just makes your costume more than 800 pounds.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Right. He doesn't have to make you 800 pounds. He just makes your shoe 800 pounds because you already said you want fancy boots.
I did.
Or whatever, like,
not after this.
After this, you're like, no, I don't want any. Your spear. He just makes the pike weigh 800 pounds.
No.
And you're like, I can't even lift it.
Good luck. Just
However, that could work if you were in a team, if you were a super team.
Yeah.
Then as you release the pike at 700 miles per hour, he spikes the weight of the pike. Now you're not getting hit for 2d6 damage. You're getting hit by something that's the same surface area of the pike, but its weight is 500 pounds. That's incredibly, that's like rods from God strong. That's like getting hit from, some hypervelocity tungsten rod dropped from space.
I'm effectively a speedster, so I don't think he's going to get me ever.
But and Shauner, I'm glad. Thanks for dropping in, by the way. And I think that it is a game where you really do have to use the imagination. If you're using your imagination and you're not looking at, you don't want to look at it the way that modern games are. Modern games give you what you can do. Here's what you can do. You can do this, or you can do this, or you can do this. What Palladium games don't do is that. They just say, okay, guess what? You can fly, you can accelerate this quickly, but then there's all sorts of things you don't know. Like, well, what about this? What about, you're expected to think of inventive ways of using skills and powers to solve obstacles. If you have an adversarial approach as a game master and you're running a game like this, you're going to straight up not have a good time.
You're just going to be,
because the first time
know the whole time,
everyone will be like, oh man, dude, really? You're going to accelerate to 700 miles per hour, break the sonic, have a sonic boom in town just so you can accelerate, the whatever it is you're carrying. And then let go of it. I mean, you're so cheesing it. Like, you can't, you have to abandon that adversarial approach and just come up with crazy schemes of your own. Like, I actually regret that I was all excited about this weight change thing, because afterwards I'm like, I should make a villain that does all of this, because it would be so crazy. The villain could take a 5-ton safe and make it weightless and then just carry it around. It weighs nothing. It'll float away.
Sure.
Like it's
an elephant.
It could just do all sorts of things.
Oh yeah.
So that's it is kind of Montreal gaming in the sense that you're encouraged to think of crazy, never before done things. And does it work? Sure, it works. And it handles it reasonably well, but you can see already this is a lot more intense than what we're going to be doing with Total Party Skills. Total Party Skills, we have one skill. That's it.
Are we done creating this character?
I think we are. Let's just recap what the character is, guys.
Oh my God.
All right.
Jeez.
An hour and 40 minutes. That's actually not bad for someone their first time. And we had a bit of an interruption too. So we have a background. We've got his base characteristics. What's he all about? What is he?
Oh, well, he's a 15-year-old.
He's a 15-year-old.
He's going to name his character something stupid. And I think it's going to be something like Yellow Lightning.
I thought you were going to go something with the pike. Yeah.
No,
he
really likes pike. He thinks lightning's cool. And his costume's yellow.
It's cool. It's really cool. Yeah. His thing is he is kind of like a Yellow Lightning is.
Yeah, he's a lightning bolt. He strikes you when you're down here, and I got my pike, and I'm like, "But you."
It's awesome. It's awesome.
I guess lightning strikes twice. Actually, 6 times per melee.
Well, that's right. You can, and even more if you boost up your metabolism.
Easy.
Go full whole hog against
9 times per melee.
Now, obviously,
I don't think I get the full 700 miles per hour.
I don't have my second camera set up that I'm toying around with the idea. If I had the second camera set up, you could see how often I had to flip around in the book to reference this. And then oh, it's just right, 100 pages later, here's this,
Yeah.
then we are back to page 20, and then we're over to page 61, and
I gotta
you're
say
just kind of
that
all over.
I think the main reason I crap on Palladium so much is that step 2.
Yeah.
It says step 2, HP and SDC. And I'm
And
like,
you
okay,
can't
what's
do
my
it.
SDC?
Don't know.
Is there something here that tells me how to do it? And I'm at step 2. I just rolled all my attributes. I'm like, okay, what do these do? None of these do anything. Okay. And now I'm on
Yeah,
to
yeah, that's true. Now the thing,
SDC. I don't
just
even know
in
where that is.
because this character seems a little overpowered, they all do. But I would point out, if you
How
get
is
hit
this
with a
character?
critical, you're just straight up dead.
Yeah, he's gonna die.
Yeah.
And
So
if I
because he has
fly into a
19
building,
hit points,
if I fly straight into a building, it's probably not great.
it's probably not great.
Yeah, I have a lot of SDC.
You have a lot. Yeah, you have a lot. And the
Probably.
nice thing about your SDC,
I can eat
unlike
one of my
other,
full sonic speed hits. I could eat one.
yeah, you could. Just one, but yeah, you
Magic
could.
skills.
So we've created Yellow Lightning. We're
Yeah.
excited for Yellow Lightning.
He likes the adjectives too. It'd be like the amazing
The
yellow
amazing
lightning.
Yellow Lightning. But he's really cautious. He's nervous and cautious. He's a worrywart. He's always worried about it.
Yeah.
He can fly up to 45,000 feet without any kind of protection. Stay up there without any kind of worry. 45,000. Yeah, 45,000. That's the ceiling of your flight.
I'm up there. I'm doing my my SpaceX satellite fixes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think they're probably a lot higher than that, but still, that's high. That's commercial airline high.
I'm up there.
Yep, it's high. You can hold your breath for 5 minutes, which is kind of funny because you're unaffected by thin air, but you can hold your breath for 5 minutes. I don't know. There are kind of funny things like that where you have to just have a conversation with the player and the game master have to come to a shared understanding of how this works.
What happens when I go in the water? I can't fly.
You can hold your water, right? Well, you can't. Well, see, that's the thing. You have to decide. Can I fly underwater?
I mean, certainly not a breath issue.
No.
Interesting.
You can say,
and
no,
I have no temperature discovered.
No.
It's not even hard.
But you can really be the least liked person in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
The HOA is always complaining.
Yeah.
What the heck? Who's breaking all the windows in here?
You tell your kid to turn off your subwoofers?
You're way too loud.
He's not here.
Way too loud.
Yeah.
So that's character creation in Heroes.
So can you have this negotiation ever in a 4D game?
I think what you have to have is you have to have a shared understanding of how the power works, with enough clarity on that understanding that you don't have that situation where you're in character the whole time and someone's saying what they're doing and you're like, that's not my understanding of how that works. Or you have to just say, look, we'll have to talk about that after the session.
Yeah.
Say, I think you violated our shared agreement of how this works.
I'll just be like, who are you talking to? Yellow Lightning? Who's talking to me right now?
So
look around. I'm Yellow Lightning. I'm looking around.
Yeah. So it took some time, right? Like we made characters in Total Party Skills. It takes maybe 10 minutes. It's really not hard to make a character in Total Party Skills.
No, it was mostly the homebrewing that took the longest.
It's the homebrewing that took time. Of course, that's to be expected. This takes a lot of time. And then probably an equal amount of time just having a conversation between game master and player, saying, so what is it? Like, what about underwater? Can I fly underwater too? Like, well, no, you can't fly underwater. It's not flight underwater. It's something else. Like that'd be swimming, or it doesn't work underwater. I'm like, oh, what about heavy rain? Does it work in heavy rain? I'm like, well, yeah, it works in the rain, obviously. Well, what's the difference? Like, why can't I? Is water my nemesis? The difference? So you have to have those. You have to come to that shared understanding if you're going to be in character the whole time, the other thing too, what we've decided.
My name's Yellow Lightning. I'm flying in storms.
Always. And I think that I think Law Dog has even run games maybe in this of Palladium. I know Eli has as well. And the thing about it, you're rarely going to use all these rules, right? You just can't. If you,
it's
it
a lot
slows
of
things
information.
down. You can't look anything up because it's so interspersed within the books that you have no idea where to look. It's just all over the place.
Yeah, you got to get a really solid character sheet.
Yeah,
you got to put the time in.
The character sheet's
I've heard
good.
that mentioned a lot with Palladium people.
You got to put the time in, fill out the character sheet, do all the calculations, and then be prepared that you'll probably never use those.
This is all like modifiers and like little ribbon abilities.
Yeah,
Pretty crazy.
But it's not that it can't work. I was talking to my in-person game after our game on Tuesday this week, and they said, well, they were all like, one guy is kind of struggling a little bit because you have to think outside the box for it to really work. And they all said the same thing. You have to just play this cinematic. You just have to go cinematic with this. And you have to be prepared to, there's just.
Let's see what Law Dog has to say.
Yeah, the organization of the book is, like we said, step 2, you can't complete.
This dream made me angry. You even play model RPG. Yep. There's a chart to console for rolls, but much less rolls. Yeah.
See, one thing I do like about the dice system in Palladium books and in Heroes Unlimited, you really don't have to consult a chart ever. Other than, I shouldn't say that, because if you're moving 700 miles per hour, then that affects how hard it is to hit you because you're moving so quickly.
Well, we wrote that all out in our character sheet.
But if you put it on the character sheet, that my dodge modifier or my to hit is such and such.
Should have like a little block that says freaky speed modifiers.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah. So
let's throw Max's comment up here. What I wouldn't know how to do is the setting. I have no clue how to be a superhero. Well,
what I think
ready
next,
for Monday, sir.
I was thinking about this because Shauner had posted this long video, people talking, some panel that was talking about why superhero RPGs are the bottom of the barrel when it comes to popularity. Like there's just, they're a rounding error. They're essentially nothing. And I think the reason why is because this only appeals to those that were fans of comic books. Like, and comic books, not modern comic books, because nobody likes those, but the old, like when I was collecting comic books, 80s, 90s, like those of us that were really into it back then, this has a lot of appeal because you can play any of the heroes that, but if you didn't do that, this has no appeal at all.
This is very much the fantasy of who wins in a fight.
Yeah, it is. It's the
like,
imagine
now I can take
if,
a piecemeal.
Yeah.
Do all kinds of crazy shit.
I don't know. Sean, I liked some of the night. Like I remember what's his name? Todd McFarlane had his Spider-Man run. That was early 90s. So that was like 90 to 92, 93. Those were fantastic.
It is weird, the setting, though. Like, you don't know how to... Because those questions you guys were asking me on Session 0 was like, how many other supers are around? What does everyone think about the supers? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I didn't even think about that. I just figured you guys were like the only supers.
Yeah.
But that's probably not what's
well, that's just
on.
that's it, though. Like, it's hard to imagine... There's just so many assumptions. We could probably hide this. I don't know if we need to show your your yellow lightning. Removed from stage, I guess.
Oh yeah.
So there's so many. Yes, exactly, Max. It's an American Anglo thing. It's exactly what it is. It's not outside, and it's really not outside of American. I mean, they really try hard to make it outside of kind of a US pop culture thing. It just isn't. And so if you don't have that, you just don't have the same touchstones to like, and bande dessinée is not the same, right? It's just not the same. Like, what is the ones like all the Mobius stuff, but there's other things too. They just don't like Asterix and Obelix has nothing, is nothing at all.
Bande
Or
dessinée is
even
still West.
Tintin. I think that's what it's called, Tintin. It's
Still
different.
Anglo.
It's a Tintin. Tintin is like the Adventures of Tintin. They're not. It's not like this. This is its own thing. It's actually a little surprising that the superhero genre of movies. It's surprising to me that they do as well as they do outside of a North American market, because they are. Oh, and Eli is saying, yeah, they did make the genre popular, but to play it in a game, in an RPG, it's hard to. Anyway, thanks a lot, Dog. Appreciate that. Yeah, Tintin's very different. It's just a totally different thing. It has a different feel. It's just not the same.
You got to try it.
But for those of us that
try
like those of us that were big into comics back in the 80s and 90s when these things were being created, like this game was the first printing was 1984. It had a reskin in 1998, but it was. It is an artifact from it. I love that cover. I just wish I still had my book. It has the Palette.
I don't take good care of my book, Seaner.
No, but yeah, sorry. You did not take good care of that. Shame on you, Phil. But that's why it's so hard to find people that want to play these, because you all have to have that same kind of.
I was like 8 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know when I got that book. I think that might be a half-price books later.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I rebought it. I rebought all my books because I regret getting rid of them. But they're fun. It's fun. It's just it's a very limited appeal compared to other genres, in my opinion. Like, but that doesn't necessarily bother me. I like to run 1970s gangster games, so I'm good with that.
Right, it's got that plastic.
Right. The palladium peel, yeah.
Plastic peel.
Yeah. And that happened.
It's all my other palladium books are not like that, because this one got used.
It got used, and like we did tonight, making a character.
Super Spies. That's the other one that got super used, but I lost that book.
The most beat up one that I had ever was my first edition Robotech RPG book.
Yeah,
that thing. Oh man, I used that so much.
We can play Robotech too sometime.
I'd love to play Robotech.
We should play we had that idea for like a Top Gun style Robotech game.
Absolutely.
That'd be dope.
That would be dope. Really.
Except we have to do it in Total Party Skills or something.
Except, how are we going to do it in stay in character?
I don't know. This is another idea I had. I'm going to throw this at you. We'll call it 2D chats, 2D mega chats, and then we'll play these stupidly crunchy systems because we're nerds.
And it's kind of a shame that it is as crunchy as it is, because it has such great. I mean, I don't know. For me, at least, it gets me thinking, and the imagination just starts flowing of what this would be.
Because I want to play Modifius Dune also.
Nice.
It has a lot of stupid systems in it.
It does too. Okay.
Yeah, that don't seem like role playing. It's just like we're breaking out the board game now, guys.
Well, we keep running these experiments, and maybe they're. Yeah. I don't know. I hope there's still there's appetite for them, but our experiments are. Can you take these other games and can you actually role play in them? And especially in games like this, where they come from a different era, can you role play in that? Can you actually do it?
Well, you can role play sometimes.
You can sometimes, yeah.
But can you turn it on and off and still be immersed?
And see, I hate coming out of things and saying, well, is this how that works?
That's why it's a 2D mega chat game, though.
Yeah. I think I'm still running it. My in-person group wants to keep going with it to see what we can do, and I think that if you get the right group of people, you can make a superheroes game work.
Yeah,
you really can.
The question is, how good can we make Heroes Unlimited? You know what I mean?
Oh, the sky's the limit.
If it's limited,
45,000
if
feet.
it can't be a 4D game, because I don't know that it can, unless you have like ultra book.
If you run it with total party
knowledge.
skills, it could be.
Oh yeah, but that's not Heroes Unlimited. That's
but if you ran a Heroes Unlimited group, like as a 4D game, you would really have to trust. You have to have a huge amount of trust of the game master and the players, because it does.
This doesn't seem like the way you should play Heroes Unlimited.
No,
seems like you're playing it wrong when you 4D it.
Maybe. I don't know. I still think that anything is better with more role play in it.
Well, you can definitely put it in. I just don't think you're going to hit that 90%.
No, you're probably not going to hit 90%. You could maybe hit 75%. So like 3 out of 4 interactions are all. Anyway, yeah, you have to have social contracts for sure. And with my, and Phil, I'm sorry, you've got to go. But it
was a secret, Crispy.
Oh,
I wasn't in a private chat.
It was private chat. Phil has to go, people. We have to wrap it up.
I got to go pee.
And it's been 2 hours. Yeah. So what our group has decided is that we're moving more towards, this is going to feel like a movie. Like we're moving more towards that. I know that doesn't work for everybody out there, but for this type of game and with these rules, you know what? We're not going to fret over if it's 140 extra damage or 145.
I would say, being the resident contrarian, I'm going away from the movie.
Yeah. You're going away from the movie?
Yeah.
How would you run it?
I would run it like a role-playing game.
Well, of course, obviously.
I don't see role-playing games as like movies, but this is an entirely different discussion that we should have on a thrilling table.
I think we should. Yeah. Have a good night. And thanks to everybody that tuned in. This was a bit of a mess, Phil. I don't know. We may have to clean it up a bit.
Talking about a mess.
Yeah. There we go. Got to run.
Not to be one.
Like an audiobook. Oh, I like that a lot. Immense amount of system mastery players. Yes, Law Dog. And it's going to take some time to get there. It's going to take some time and effort from everybody.
Lots of trust too.
But
I think we got the trust part down.
These books are not expensive. You can get them for cheap. So everyone at the table should get one, and away you go. $30, people. That's it. You can do this. $30.
Buy the game.
Buy the game.
It's awesome.
It's fun.
Just for nerd reasons.
Buy it.
I'm going to end the stream here.
Please do. Yeah. Later.
Thanks for tuning in for this special episode of A Thrilling Table. And I hope that you keep your table thrilling. You'll have a good evening. Boop.